Welcome to the morning shoot around here on the Athletic NBA Daily's YouTube stream. We're live. It's actually the morning.
Yes.
Still even technically for US on the
Yeah, we finally did it. We finally got a morning shoot around.
a real morning shoot around.
Real morning shoot around. Congratulations.
We did it. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht, with me, Es Baraheni, and we are going to do a little exercise in trust.
Yeah.
Okay. And Essa is going to walk us through it. If you guys have comments about the teams that you trust, let us know, and we'll make you part of the conversation. So, take us through what you want to do today.
What I'm doing. Yeah. So look, I thought this would be a fun exercise in seeing how much we believe in playoff teams or certain playoff teams. So basically any team in the top 6 of either conference I've kind of pitted against one another. And I'm going to ask you, Andrew, who do you trust more?
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, you know what? We're going to start here because yesterday this team had an absurd game that we laughed at. And the final game was gross, and the final minute of it was gross, and we were like, what is this team? And basically the Los Angeles Lakers, folks, are, if you catch them on any given night, great basketball team, very fun. Luka, Austin, LeBron, it's humming. If you catch them on other nights, they look like one of the worst teams in basketball. That's the wide margin that the Lakers deal with. So I have to ask you, who do you trust more? The Los Angeles Lakers or the Houston Rockets?
Teams will tell you who they are. Over the course of a season, teams will tell you who they are. And the Lakers right now are probably not getting enough flack for being the 24th ranked defensive team in the NBA right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then offensively, you're like, oh, but they have LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves. And I know those guys have been in and out of the lineup, but this is the 11th ranked offense. This is some elite offense. So they're
much better. Yeah.
Bad on defense. Decent on offense. I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks guys have a better defensive rating on the season.
Yes, they do.
Than the Lakers. The Nuggets, who are getting a ton of flack for their defense, has a better defense than the Lakers.
Yeah.
Give me the Houston Rockets all day. I know the Rockets have issues in the clutch. I know that they have issues with their offense, but they at least have an identity. And so, what's the identity of the Lakers? We have LeBron and Luka.
We have Luka Doncic. Yeah.
That's our identity. And Luka, I mean, people are talking more about Luka's antics than they are his game right now, I would say. And this team also just kind of feels like it's being held hostage a bit by LeBron James's career.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of things at play right now with the Lakers that I don't trust. I don't think they're making it out of round one. Their net rating is quite bad. And so I don't know. They currently have a negative net rating.
Yeah. Yeah. When they lose bad. That's the thing. Like,
true.
There are certain games where they will come and say, we did not show up for this basketball game. Like, we are not interested in playing this basketball game. And also, like, for what it's worth, to throw some bail, to shoot some bail for the Lakers, this is a wildly poorly constructed roster.
Yeah.
Like, when you have Luka Doncic and your main release valve outside of Austin Reeves is Jared Vanderbilt and Rui Hachimura and Marcus Smart.
Dude, Rui airballed that three in the corner. Just it was really rough. Yeah, the guys they have they play one side of the ball, the other. Like, they got Luke Kennard,
who refuses to shoot.
Which that's been the whole story. I don't understand why people thought it was different.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kennard, as a Laker, he's 29 years old. He's not like 23 and like still trying to figure this out. Like, Luke Kennard is who he is.
Yeah.
But then, like, you have Marcus Smart, who's not even the greatest defender anymore at his age, but like is not an offensive guy. Laravia, who is maybe their best two-way role player on their team, is not like a stud defensively.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton, it feels like maybe that's something that they regret a bit there. I mean, would they be that much worse if they just played Jackson Hayes more? Maybe they would be, but
Yeah.
it's not gone well with Ayton. So like there's just the role players are a mess there, and they'll get a chance to reset this summer. I think the Lakers will look a lot different heading into next season, but I think they could just get rid of all their role players and then reset around Luka and Reeves.
So I agree. And I think, look, this is less of a conversation about the Lakers, but maybe my waning belief on the Houston Rockets, specifically to win a first round series.
Yeah.
Because, like, you look at the rest of the West, and right now, funny enough, if they were to play, it would be Rockets Lakers in round one. And I think that is an interesting matchup. I think I would favor the Rockets in that matchup because of how good they are defensively.
Yeah.
And we've seen, like, last year, the Lakers very similarly, like the Wolves just locked them up and they were so much better offensively. That being said, I don't know if the Rockets can punch above that. Like, in a series against the Timberwolves, I would not favor the Rockets. In a series against the Nuggets or Spurs or Thunder, I'm obviously not favoring the Rockets. I think some of the offensive issues, the 3-point shooting, the clutch execution, the over-reliance on Kevin Durant and Alperen Şengün, that makes me put the Rockets on this similar tier to the Lakers, where you clearly have the talent to win a first-round series. You have the talent to make any playoff series interesting, but do you have enough talent for me to trust you? I don't know if that's the case.
No.
I honestly don't know if that's the case.
Would you trust a healthy Phoenix team or a Lakers team?
Wow. Are we there? Damn.
Just asking a question.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair question to ask. I don't know how to read into this Suns team because, like, they've clearly played really well.
Yeah.
And like, their defense is good. And unfortunately, they're dealing with some injuries right now to Booker and Brooks, and they're incorporating Jalen Green, which is this whole kind of, like, it's not a cloud hanging over their head, but it's something that they have to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious to see what this team looks like at the end of the season. That being said, if you were to sit here and tell me in June that the Suns won a playoff series and the Lakers didn't, would I be surprised?
Yes, you'd have to be.
I would be surprised.
Because of where they're at, you'd have to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Have to be. Because, I mean, we've seen Luka turn it on in the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, like,
Luka could average 40 for a series, and they're in the semis, you know?
They could beat the Rockets. It's not like it's impossible.
That's why it's an interesting.
If you got into close games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, could the Lakers beat them? Sure. Is that who I would pick? No. But is it possible? Yes.
Yeah.
Phoenix, their problem is that they're in the play-in, and they would have to play the Spurs or the Thunder, most likely, or the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, there just ain't no way.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep it going with the. Actually, no, I'm going to switch it up here. I'm going to go all the way to the top. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you trust more? The San Antonio Spurs or the Detroit Pistons? We just saw these two teams play each other. Okay. They're both very young, pretty inexperienced, right? They haven't made a huge playoff run. The Pistons have played one playoff series against the Knicks last year. The Spurs have not with this current iteration of the group. Who do you trust more? The Spurs or the Pistons?
I think I trust the Pistons more just because of where they are in the life cycle of their team.
Okay.
They've been through a playoff series. I do think that it matters. And they were super competitive in that playoff series. Yeah. So it's not like they just got run over. And just having been there before, I think really does matter, because if you look at the Spurs and the guys, and it's not just Wemby. Like if it were just Wemby and he was there with a bunch of guys who had been there before, then I would say, you know what, totally cool.
Harrison Barnes' playoff experience doesn't matter to you? De'Aaron Fox
They're-
is one playoff series, doesn't?
The De'Aaron Fox thing does not matter. Sorry. You have to do it together. Also, Stephon Castle is probably the one that I'm pointing to the most, because he has mostly been their second best player this year.
Yeah.
And so Castle's got to go through it for sure. Like Wemby and Castle have to go through it together. And so to me, it's just like they've got to go through something together, because the playoffs are just different. They're just absolutely different. They're different than February basketball. And the Spurs are rolling right now. They're very, very good. I think they can win a round, certainly. I just think that it's going to get really tricky come playoff time whenever teams can scheme against you. And if you're not shooting it well, I think that the playoffs get really difficult. And
I'll say this, because I'm glad you brought up the shooting point. That's exactly why I'm going the other way.
Yeah, I get it.
I trust the Spurs more than the Pistons, because I think, like, when the going gets tough for the Spurs, they have a way to outsource some offense. It's not just like Victor Wembanyama, please save us, right?
Yeah.
We have this guard trio that can get to the basket at will, in a Steph Castle, in a De'Aaron Fox, and Dylan Harper to a lesser extent. And then we have these like shooter wing types in a Keldon Johnson, Harrison Barnes, Devin Vassell that can get us some shots outside of that. And Wemby plays well into that too, because he's this floor spacer who can knock down shots too. And there's also, like, the Spurs are just as good of a defensive team as the Pistons. So there's no like huge drop off of, well, this team can't get stops, because the Spurs can get stops, right? Yeah, and they can, like we saw it in the NBA Cup, like they can play physical. They can pressure the heck out of the ball. And I think ultimately that will help in the postseason. Now, Detroit's experience will help them. And truthfully, the fact that they're in the Eastern Conference is going to help them.
Their biggest advantage is that they're in the Eastern Conference.
Yes.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah, I totally get that. And like, who are they facing right now? They would be playing the Miami Heat. That is, to me, that is like a sweep or a gentleman's sweep, that type of series.
Yeah.
I think if a team is prepared to take away Cade Cunningham, and that's going to be hard, right? Yeah. I don't think there's a single team in the playoffs for the Eastern Conference that can say, we have the point of attack defense to take away Cade Cunningham. The Knicks don't have it. The Celtics don't have it. The Cavs don't have it. The Raptors think they have it, but they don't have anything else. And that to me is the biggest question, and maybe the biggest advantage for Detroit, is that the way to beat them doesn't kind of exist in the Eastern Conference right now. And the other thing is, like, if they hit their shots, they're a different beast, but they don't hit their shots. They don't shoot the ball well. So if you go into a playoff series and they're not shooting the ball well against the Celtics or the Knicks or the Cavs, that's it, you know?
Yeah, I get it. I just think also, like, the teams out west are going to be tough. And then they're going to really put the Spurs to the test.
Like, the Spurs would play the Suns right now if the playoffs were to start today.
Yeah.
Which I would favor the Spurs in that situation.
I mean,
but
for sure. But they will test San Antonio. I think. And then when you get to round 2, it's Denver.
Yeah.
You know, round 2 will be a lot different for Detroit.
Yeah, it's a big step up
than it will be for Denver.
Yeah.
And yeah, the shooting is going to matter, but the defense matters maybe just as much, which favors both teams, like you said. But you know, the Thunder didn't shoot it well throughout the entire playoffs last year and won the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
You just have to be able to find ways to get there. And like, I'm trying to see where they're at as far as like 3-point percentage goes in the league.
The Spurs or the Pistons?
Both.
I think they're both bottom 10.
Yeah, Detroit is 21st. And then San Antonio Where is San Antonio?
San Antonio is 20th.
20th. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're right beside each
How
other.
did I not see that? Am I losing my brain? Yes, I am. Yeah, they're right there. They're both at like 35%. Neither one of them are that great of 3-point shooting teams. San Antonio takes more threes.
That's the thing, man. Taking them.
Yeah. They just don't have that many guys that can, which is a problem.
Yeah.
They
I will say, and this is to Anik09's point in the comments, America's Charlotte will make the playoffs is my lukewarm take. If the Pistons face the Hornets in round 1, I'm not saying the Hornets would beat them, but it would be at least a little bit interesting.
It would be more fun.
Yeah, because of the fight and I'm down.
So many fun things about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would be so down for that. That would be an awesome series. Okay, who do you trust more, Andrew? Going back to East versus East, the Knicks or the Celtics?
Give me the Celtics.
Yeah,
Give me the Celtics. The Knicks, and we've talked to James about it. They are confounding. They're inconsistent.
They don't know who they are.
This should be easily the Knicks. If you looked at it before the season, this would feel like a very silly question.
Yeah.
But it's as simple as, like you said, the Celtics know who they are, what they want to do, and how they want to execute it. The Knicks are different from night to night. And it's all over the map. And, they changed their coach from last year. Do they have any regrets about that? I would wonder if they have regrets about that, because this has not worked. And the same Karl Anthony Towns issues are still the exact same. Where last night, I think he had as many turnovers as he did shot attempts.
Yeah.
He made all of them.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, I really don't know how I could trust this Knicks squad, who should be taking this season to dominate the Eastern Conference and cement themselves as like the Eastern Conference favorite, and they've not done that. There's 2 teams in the Celtics and the Pistons that have a much better net rating, and I tend to believe that. It's funny that currently they are. Hold on, I think their net rating is below 6 currently, which a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people say that like 6 is kind of the marker for a contender, and they're just like right below that. They're just under 6, which is perfect, because it's like just enough to keep you believing, but also it's just like history has shown that like if you have a net rating of 6 or above, you're like a true contender, and the Knicks are just right outside of that, which is poetic.
So look, I hear you, and I probably agree with you, and I by the way, I just, if you are a fan of this channel, you just saw the Celtics video that we dropped detailing how incredible their offense is.
Yeah.
And if you were to ask me, is there a team in the Eastern Conference that you trust more than the Celtics? I would say no. I trust the Celtics more than the Pistons. I trust them more than the Cavs. And that doesn't mean that I think they're going to make it to the finals, because I think there's some steps to that. Tatum coming back, this team looking good in a couple of different playoff series against different matchups. But like in terms of trust factor, and do I know what I'm getting from them on a night-to-night basis? I honestly do think it's the Celtics.
Yeah.
Especially in the playoffs, because the Pistons have been incredible in the regular season, but that lack of playoff experience ends up being kind of a factor here when you talk about trust. Okay, this is the one thing that I want to argue for the Knicks side of things, just to bring it forward, because I know right now it's like doom and gloom in Knicks world.
Sure.
So Jalen Brunson, in his 3 years playing playoff basketball for the New York Knicks, okay, first year, 11 games played, 28 points per game on 47, 34, 90 shooting. The year after that, 13 games played, 32 points, 7.5 assists on 45, 31, 77 shooting. Not a good free throw shooting year for Jalen Brunson that year. Last year, in their run to the conference finals, Jalen Brunson, 30 points on 46% from the field, 36% from three, and 85% from the free throw line. This dude is a bona fide playoff player.
Yeah.
And going back to the whole trust thing, I'm not sure if there's a player in the East that I trust more in the playoffs than Jalen Brunson currently. Other than Giannis. Like Giannis, if Giannis were to play and make it to the playoffs, I would be like, yes, I believe in Giannis. But that's not going to happen. So I honestly do think I trust Jalen Brunson more than anybody else in the playoffs right now.
Not even finals MVP Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown is incredible. I am curious to see how playoff basketball, if Tatum doesn't come back, how that version of him will look in playoff basketball. Because we saw him obviously really take this team, to in another world in that playoff series. And not playoff series, but that playoff run, that championship run. Like he was incredible, but he was also playing off of Tatum, and Tatum was still there and he existed. And like that allowed for Brown to be this highly efficient scorer. He's a walking bucket right now, but how does that look in a playoff setting when everybody is geared towards stopping you?
Yeah, it's a good question. I also, and maybe I'm dead wrong about this, but I would be a little cautious about bringing Tatum back to this group and thinking that it's just going to be additive.
Maybe. Yeah, I see the argument. I just feel like he has been a role player before, like rookie and sophomore Jason Tatum.
Long time ago.
It was a long
time ago in basketball years.
Yeah.
I just think it's really hard. I think it's really hard to add a piece like that, especially one that if he's not fully healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we saw it even with like the Thunder this year when they added J-Dub back. I get screwed with stuff. They were 24-1.
Yeah.
And trying to reintegrate him back into the team, you would think, oh, there's no way that would be bad. He's a role player to a degree in a lot of ways for them with the way that he approaches the game and all of that. It was not additive.
Mm-hmm.
It took a lot away from them, which they were willing to do because you have to reintegrate this guy. But I mean, how are they going to reintegrate him? What does that look like? It's not basketball is you can use math to help basketball, but
it's magic.
When it comes to rosters like this, it's not always that simple.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I agree. Donkey 16 says the last time Tatum was a role player was USA basketball. How did that go? That is fair.
Hey, maybe they just don't play him. Is that what he's suggesting? Bring him back. Just don't play him.
Oh, man. But I think we both land on we trust the Celtics more than the Knicks in the playoffs.
I want to trust the Knicks. I would like to.
Yeah.
I would like for them to give me a reason to, though. I'm not going to blindly trust them. You got to, and I know that James was like, they have the best net rating in the last so-and-so games. Like, yeah, that's great. But every big game that like every Knicks fan has circled,
they lose,
has left them all wanting the next day. And, we probably don't have any Knicks fans even listening to this right now because they're probably in the, like, I'm avoiding podcasts, I'm avoiding Knicks coverage, for at least 24 hours.
Yeah. Look, for what it's worth, the last time the Knicks played the Celtics, they beat them,
Yeah.
And like that matters. The matchup itself, this is the 2-3. And the Celtics have lost twice to the Knicks this season. It feels like this is headed for a second round series between these two teams.
Mm-hmm.
This is obviously the team that Tatum tore his Achilles against. Like that, there's clearly some history there. So I don't know. We'll see. That's an interesting one to kind of keep your eye on. Okay. Coming to your neck of the woods here. Who do you trust more? And I'm going to go first here because you're not allowed to answer. Okay. No, I'm kidding. Who do you trust more, the Oklahoma City Thunder or the Denver Nuggets?
Okay.
Two teams that have had a lot of injuries this year.
Yeah.
have still found ways to win. The Thunder obviously have found more ways to win. They are number one in the Western Conference. The Nuggets have struggled immensely here as of late, and I talked about it on our podcast. I don't know, like 2-3 days ago. They have had a bad February. You know, the only wins that they have this month are against the Bulls, Grizzlies, and they absolutely decimated the Blazers by 50.
Yep.
But outside of that, you look up and down their schedule, and their schedule is tough, but you think they would win some of those games, right? Against the new look Cavs. They obviously I just think their schedule is to the point where, and I get it, Jokic is back. You're trying to get him into the full swing of things. Aaron Gordon isn't available. But who do I trust more? At this point, I have to say the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because even without their stars, they are finding ways to win. And you could have said that about the Nuggets too, especially when Jokic was out. Murray was awesome. Peyton Watson was awesome. They were figuring out ways to win. But since their stars come back, and maybe this happens with the Thunder, I doubt it, but maybe it does. Since their star has come back, they haven't looked the same. And I think a lot of that has to do with their defense and how bad that's been. And I just don't know if, again, in the Western Conference playoffs, can you win multiple series having this bad of a defense? And also, can you get to a point where your defense gets good in 6 weeks? I don't think you can. I just don't think it's possible.
The NBA is really difficult when you don't have a really good defensive big man.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really difficult. And Jokic can be that, but they also have to hide him. I mean, the way that they played the Thunder last year in the playoffs is they played zone.
Yeah.
And did not rely on the individual defenders that they have. And so I do think that the Thunder are the one to trust. I think they have the deepest roster in the NBA. I think that they've got, as long as they're healthy, I think that they're going to have the best shot to win this thing. But they got to get healthy is like the number one thing. That's really it for both of them. If neither one of them are healthy, probably neither one gets out of the Western Conference. It could be San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the next team up. But I do think as long as the Thunder have most of their defenders in Shea, I think they're going to have a really good shot.
But I'll just again, to just play devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Williams has not been healthy this season.
Yeah.
And I think he is no question, he's a huge part of what this team was last year.
Yeah.
Do you feel as if that is part of maybe the reason you might trust the Nuggets more, just because you don't know if J-Dub can stay or be healthy this season?
It's really just which of Aaron Gordon or Jalen Williams' hamstrings is going to
do you trust more? Yeah.
Stay healthy, that's going to be the biggest thing. And he re-aggravated the hamstring when he came back. Maybe he came back too early. But his is not as severe as AG's is. So it's going to be, they'll need Dub if they want to win, just because offensively this thing is going to grind to a halt at some point.
Yeah.
And you need somebody like him as a release valve, where Chet's still a developing offensive player. I mean, yesterday in Toronto, he had 7 points. Yeah. That's unusual for him to have that few of points, especially with all these guys out. But that can happen with Chet. Mm-hmm. Dub is their secondary scorer. Now, other guys have emerged. Isaiah Joe has had a great season. Case Wallace has looked great recently.
AJ Mitchell, right?
Yeah. Mitchell's great.
Although he's been injured too.
Yeah, he's been out. Yeah. Hopefully he's back by the end of this week. But yeah, they've had a lot of guys in and out of the lineup. So they need a true secondary scorer. And we also know that this is kind of the one of the reasons why I would like to see the Spurs is that once you hit playoff time, last year, Isaiah Joe was not this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's a better player this year, but he was a guy that was in and out of the rotation. Aaron Wiggins, rewind back to this point in the season last year, Aaron Wiggins was just on a tear.
Yeah.
Wiggins had a few good games in the playoffs. He was not just this consistent 6-man scorer for them.
Mm-hmm.
Things change for these guys when it comes to playing on the offensive end. They just change. It's a lot harder to manufacture points than it is in the regular season. And so you kind of have to figure out, like, no matter how much depth the Thunder have, it's going to boil down to 8 guys. It's going to boil down to 7 guys. Right now, it's like, man, the Thunder are deep 1 through 15. They could do it, blah, blah, blah. It's like they're going to get into a series with somebody and be like, oh my gosh, we only have 7 guys.
Yeah. And that's what happened last year too, right? Yeah.
It happens to every team in the playoffs, every single team. And so you have to also figure out, who are those guys? Is Champagny one of those guys? Because he's been awesome for them, but is he a playoff guy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of questions to be answered that you can't answer until you're actually there.
Can I ask you a question? Because I was debating doing who do you trust more, Thunder or Spurs, instead of Thunder or Nuggets.
Yeah.
How much would your answer have changed?
It wouldn't,
given the Spurs context for the Thunder, right? Like, they've beat you guys and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I think if you go back to the matchups where the Thunder had their guys, the last matchup they didn't have their guys in San Antonio, that's one that you just throw out. But the Thunder played weird against particularly Victor Wembanyama. I feel like they over game planned.
Yeah,
for Vic.
The never minds, man. That's
yeah. I think that, and then in the last matchup where they had their guys, they destroyed the Spurs, and it was a different mentality completely.
Yeah.
And the Thunder got punked by San Antonio, twice within the span of just a few days. And I think they figured something out, and there might have been a little bit of gamesmanship when it came to who they played in that last San Antonio game.
Right.
Yeah. Because it was like, I think they feel like they figured it out a little bit.
Like, we don't want to show it to you again.
And you know what? We're going to send Kenrich Williams to you. So
that's funny. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. We've got 2 more. Who do you trust here? I feel like we can go through these pretty quickly, but I'm curious to get your thoughts. Who do you trust more? The Cleveland Cavaliers or the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Oh, man.
2 teams that, I think, like, the Wolves have more playoff success than the Cavs. I will give that to them. 2 Western Conference Finals appearances.
No question.
Anthony Edwards has been awesome in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell has had his playoff moments, but has never made it to the conference finals, East or West. The Cavs are also one of those teams where, like, they now have James Harden, which is one of those players you can ask, who do you trust more to throughout his career? So I mean, like, I would personally, it's kind of weird because I think the Cavs, because they're in the Eastern Conference and because they're well positioned with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen and more depth and all that stuff, like, I feel like the logical answer might be the Cavs. You can make the logical answer for the Cavs.
Yeah.
But I'm picking the Wolves.
Yeah. The way that I would phrase this is, like, I think the Cavs can probably make it further than the Wolves this year in the playoffs, if we're talking about how far they can make it.
Yeah.
But if somehow, and this could happen in the future, if the Wolves are somehow in the
it will happen soon. I'd imagine it's going to be Minnesota.
Yeah. Then I would pick Minnesota to win the East.
Yeah.
I just think that that team getting to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row, some of it circumstantial for sure. That's kind of the way the playoffs works, though. But they've done it. Like, you can't take that away from them.
Mm-hmm.
The Cavs should have done it already in the East.
Yeah,
and
totally.
have not done it. And now you add a guy who has just as many question marks as anybody throughout the history of the NBA and the playoffs, along with Donovan Mitchell, along with Evan Mobley, who will just disappear at times, and Jared Allen, who admits to the world, the lights are too bright for me.
That was the worst thing he could have ever said in his life.
Go follow him forever.
Yes.
Go follow him forever. Did you hear about his 3-2-1 rule?
No. What is that?
It was read 3 books, beat 2 video games, and see 1 movie in the theater a month.
I like that. That's a great rule. Good for him.
So every month, that's what he's doing.
I would, personally, from my taste, I would flip that.
Yeah.
I would watch 3 movies instead of video games, maybe like
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you play video games?
not really. If there's a cool world type play video game where I can like I don't know, GTA is cool, but there's also like the Ghost of I'm gonna butcher that name, but it's a Japanese samurai game that's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to play Red Dead Redemption this summer and completely finish it, which I've heard is incredible. So like those type of like travel the world and you can kind of explore here and there and see what you
Were
can
you
do.
a Zelda guy ever?
Zelda, yeah, when I was a kid, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Zelda, I have a friend who's still a huge Zelda guy. Ghost of Tsushima, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, those are banger games. Those are awesome games for me. So I would flip that. I would go 3 movies,
Yeah.
2 video games, and maybe a book. Maybe I grind out a book. God, I wish I was a better book reader. I hate myself every day because I want to read more books. And then Elden Ring, yeah, that's a good one too. I want to read more books, and every time I sit down to read a book, I'm like, but man, there's so many better things to do.
I'm honest, and Amy and I are probably both this way. We're both just like too active. We sit and read a lot. Like I did read a book when we went on vacation. I read a whole book, which was great. But I'm like, I will never sit like this. I just can't do it. I can listen to books if you count that as reading, but like I just don't sit still enough.
I also don't count that as reading, by the way. I don't count audios books as reading. I will go as far as saying I don't count Kindles as reading.
What?
Yeah.
Then what's the category?
The physical touch of you see these books, half of which I've never read. These books, you have to physically touch them.
One, you know what? If I've listened to a book, I've read the book.
Kindles don't count, man. And also, no, the audiobook does not count, man.
What do you say? What am I supposed to say?
The physical act of reading is important. And also the Kindle thing, I think it's just like, it's too much like an iPad for me to count it as a book.
I'm an auditory learner.
Okay? I'm a visual learner. That's why I like movies. I hear you. I'm with you on that. I understand.
Okay.
But it's just Kindle doesn't count. Audio does not count, man. I will die on this bridge. Audio does not count. Kindle, you might be able to convince me.
You're dead to me, S. Okay. You're dead on your hill. Okay. Because I mean, if you take in the information, then like, what's the difference in how you take it in?
Okay. So then a podcast is us right now. We're writing a book.
Oh, okay. Now,
there you go. Yeah, exactly.
No,
absolutely not. We are writers. Me and you. We are literary.
When you're a kid, and you had a parent that read to you, and you took in the information.
Not you reading.
I mean,
it's not you reading. It's you being told a story, which is an awesome version of storytelling, which is beautiful in its own way.
John Boggs. S was my favorite rapper until this take.
Listen, man, Kindle not counting is just me being. You got the physical touch of a book.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's beautiful.
I as an avid argument about the audiobooks. I've had that argument before. I've not ever argued about the Kindle.
The Kindle is me being annoying. The audiobook, living and dying on it. Incredible. Right. Yeah. Okay. Can't do it. Okay. We have one more. Who do you trust? I think we both said Wolves, by the way, right?
Yeah, Wolves. Yeah, definitely Wolves. The Cavs just have to go prove it. Like, I won't believe it until I see it.
Yeah.
Cavs.
Yeah. I agree. Okay. Who do you trust more? This is a weird one, truthfully. I don't deny this, but it's like the only 2 remaining teams in the playoff race. Who do you trust more, Raptors or Sixers? Now, for what it's worth, the question just has to be, which one of these teams do you think has a chance to win a first round series? Because I don't think any of us believe they can do anything more than that.
Yeah.
Who do you trust more, the Raptors or the Sixers?
This is easily the Raptors.
Oh, wow.
Easily.
Interesting. Even including the fact that we just saw them implode in the clutch again. against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, that's against the Thunder, though. Like, that's not fair. It's not necessarily fair, especially against a team that like defends the paint and like values defending the paint over everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really fair for that particular Raptors team. Like the Thunder would steamroll the Raptors, even with the version of the Thunder we saw yesterday in the playoffs, just because of the way they defend the paint. Not every team in the Eastern Conference defends the paint like that, and has people that do that. So I would pick the Raptors. Philly, dude, how many years do we have to do this with Philly, where the Philadelphia 76ers team just sets the football up, tees it up, and it's like, go ahead and kick as hard as you want. And they just pull that thing. If Joel Embiid is on the roster, that football is being pulled. Period.
Yeah.
I will believe in this Philly team when Embiid is gone, when Paul George is gone, and they have rebuilt the squad around Maxey and
the
VJ,
image. Yeah.
And they can get a big that makes sense with them, and they reset. But with this version, heck no. No chance. Not happening. Heartbreak, heartache only.
Let me ask you this. As things are currently constructed, the Knicks will face the Sixers, and the Cavs will play the Raptors.
Yeah.
Which one of those teams do you give more of a chance of beating the opposing team?
Raptors.
Really? Still?
Yeah.
Even given how much we don't trust the Knicks right now?
Brunson will rip apart that Philly team.
Okay. All right. I guess my thing with the Raptors is that they do not have a scorer as talented as Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
And I think you can win a playoff series with a scorer as talented as Tyrese Maxey. Now, I agree with you that there's like the injury question of Joel Embiid. On the Raptors side of things, there's the injury question of Jakob Poeltl. And I think the Sixers clearly are a better team when Embiid and Paul George are playing. You look at the numbers, it doesn't even dispute that.
Absolutely.
Way better. Yeah. And they don't have as much options at their disposal when those guys aren't available. Like very quickly, Andre Drummond becomes your starting center, So I get that, but I do not like trust the Raptors offense whatsoever in a playoff setting. And we can go back and forth and say, well, the Raptors defense is elite. It can force turnovers. Scotty Barnes is an incredible defensive player, and they have Colin Murray-Boyles, who is way ahead defensively as a rookie. They have these good point of attack defenders and Jamal Shedd and Jacoby Walter. Like, there's a world in which they can force enough turnovers, get out and running, and win a playoff series. Can they do that against James Harden and Donovan Mitchell? I don't know. Maybe. Perhaps. You give that a chance. I like it. I like it from an outsider's perspective. Maybe it's just I've seen this team too much.
Yeah.
Blow opportunities.
To be clear, both will lose.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But
yeah.
If I were to give somebody a better chance,
it's the Raptors. I think that's fair.
It's the Raptors, fair. But it's not only that it's the Raptors. It's my answer is also it's just not the Sixers.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. That is entirely fair.
It's just not the Sixers. That's probably more of my take, I would say.
It goes back to the Rockets-Lakers thing. It's like this is not about the Lakers as much as it is about our distrust for the Rockets right now, or my distrust for the Rockets. But
sure. Yeah, I think there are a lot of flawed teams in the league right now.
Yeah.
And there's not, especially now with the injuries to teams like Denver and Oklahoma City, there's not any perfect team. And even like to the Celtics, where if they were fully healthy and had been this whole season, and even to the Pacers, like all these teams that are dealing with major injury, like the league will look a lot different next year. A lot different next year.
Yeah. Especially like the Pacers are back next year.
They're back. They'll be back.
And I think teams like the Raptors and Sixers do have to kind of look in the mirror a little bit this summer because the Eastern Conference will look a little bit different. because the Pacers will be better. The Hornets should technically be better. I think everybody is expecting them. You guys at the Saturday Slam and Jam, you guys do like the pre-leap teams and players. Like the Hornets are very much in that category. Of like the pre-leap that happens. The Hawks might get a lottery pick or might get a really, really good lottery pick with the Pelicans, and that could catapult them.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like a shuffling of the deck here.
And who gets Giannis?
And who gets Giannis? Yeah. Dude, the Knicks blow it up and trade for Giannis because that's the only place he wants to go.
By the grace of God, hopefully they do. Because I don't think Knicks fans can handle much more of this particular iteration of the team.
Yeah, I agree. I think they are also one of those teams that's headed for a very, very interesting playoffs.
If they don't make the conference finals, or I guess really even make the finals, because they made the conference finals and they fired their coach.
Yeah.
Just something that, like, if you would have told somebody like 5 years ago, hey, the Knicks are going to be making conference finals runs, like, wow, that's amazing. Great. Good for them. They're going to do dumb stuff. Like, they're just going to do dumb stuff.
Yeah. And by the way, the Pistons have, like, if let's say the Pistons lose in round 2 this year, and they're like, all right, well, this year we're going to do our version of Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah.
We're going to go out and get those guys, whether it's a Trey Murphy or whoever, like whatever it is that they need.
That would be great for them.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, okay. Before we get out of here, can I get back to my audiobook take?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I saw some ire in the comments. Okay.
Sure.
So look, me saying the Kindle thing, I agree. Being a jackass, I don't necessarily agree with that. It's whatever. You can read on a Kindle. I've actually, over the last couple of weeks, to give myself a better chance of reading books, have considered purchasing a Kindle. So I'm a fraud in that category.
You're telling us your considerations now?
So I'm a fraud on the Kindle category. I don't dispute that. But the reading audiobook thing, it is not the actual act of reading. You're just listening to someone read to you, which is not reading. That doesn't count as reading. Okay. I think you can have the visual aspect of reading, the actual version of where your eyes see words and they digest those words. Like, for example, shout out to our company. I play the New York Times crossword very frequently because I want to learn new words. Okay. I don't think you are able to digest words as easily with audiobooks. S doesn't read books, so his opinion doesn't count. You know what? Facts, bro.
The OG unnamed YouTuber.
Facts. Facts. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. But I read articles.
Wrong, Donkey 16. Listening to an audiobook is reading is the same way that watching a basketball game is exercising.
I like that, Donkey 16. Yes.
That's garbage, Donkey. That's garbage. All right. Let us know. Let us know in the YouTube comments. Let us know in the Spotify comments. Is listening to a book reading? Also, is there any merit to the Kindle argument with that S? Both presented in a really intense way and then completely retracted 15 minutes later.
Look, I'm just saying, technology, it makes things easier for us, but does everything have to be easier?
Throw that take on Twitter, S. On the
I have this VHS camcorder,
Wait, what?
Yes, it makes it fun to record and to film things. Must we have these things that make it easier? Something to think about. Just something to think about. Just put it out there. Dave would like this take.
Huh?
Dave would like this take. I'm just letting you know.
But listen, Dave would like it if this technology was just all gone too.
This is breaking my heart, and I'm a former teacher. I would love to know my students are listening to audiobooks. I think. Can I just say something? I think listening.
Here we go. Let's retract this take.
No. Listening to stuff and listening to audio and having information sent to you via the brain waves and the audio waves is awesome. Count me in. I'm down. there's no problem with that. I think there are benefits to it. Those benefits are not reading benefits. That's it. That's my take. It's not the same, man.
I'm gonna get some research to throw at you next time.
Okay. All right.
Research to throw at
All
you
right.
next.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to everybody who is watching us live. We really appreciate you guys. Please tell your friends about the show. This is how this thing grows. It's just
That's right.
organically. We'd love for you guys to share about it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you guys again tomorrow.